So Shane, we just received the April stats. I'm looking at the data. It seems everything is going up. There's more sales. Average price is going up. Give me, your takeaway, maybe two takeaway that you can share with us.
I think you in your intro you kind of alluded to it, and much of the stats needs to be considered in light of the segment where you're selling or buying. And although the stats tell you the overall picture, it still really needs to be considered block by block. My interpretation of the stats is that buyers have a lot more leverage.
Right.
Sales are down about 23% year over year, while new listings are up by close to the same amount. I think it's 18 and a bit percent
Yep.
based on the last report. That's significant. Our active inventory, at least, is the highest it's ever been in close to 30 years. So it means that there's a great buying opportunity out there right now, perhaps a once in a lifetime type of opportunity.
Absolutely.
And at the same time, there are still people who need to buy and sell for various reasons. They're moving areas, they're getting divorced, their
Right.
family's growing, they're outgrowing their house, they can't manage the lawn. I think that's just important to keep in mind that while the numbers aren't fantastic, the deals are still out there.
Right.
It's a buyer's market right now,
Hmm.
right? But that doesn't mean that you still can't get a great price as a seller. The report showed that average prices are down about 4 point something percent. In the context of things, sounds crappy, but if you are somebody who needed to downsize and your house was worth $1 million before, it's worth 960 today. And the question is, for the reasons you articulated for wanting to move, are those still evident and present? And does that $40,000 in the scheme of things change your life? And obviously, it's dependent on when you bought
Yep.
the property and everything else.
No, totally agree. Most of the activity, most of the people who are buying and selling, are due to life event.
Yeah, and it always comes down to that, right?
Mhm.
I don't know there was ever really a time people would just sell because they could get a great price for
Right.
their home. Moving can be a pain, so there's got to be oftentimes a bigger reason to do something.
Okay, so would you say that you're getting more seller calling you now, or are you getting more buyers? They want to do something.
Consistent with like where the market watch reports at, with listings up 18%. The majority of my business comes from listings. I'm working with only a small handful of buyers right now, maybe two or three who are
Hmm.
super active. The buyers that
Timing.
are out there,
Yep.
my buyers are still quite motivated. They still
Right.
have a need to do something. I have a buyer who sold her condo, and we're looking in a pretty hot neighborhood, Davisville
Hmm.
Village, Leaside.
Right.
There's still multiple offers happening there.
Still
Uh,
going strong there.
yeah, and
Yeah.
and new listings are up whatever percent it says.
Right.
We're combing every day and waiting for like the product to come up, and I'm on the phones and calling through the neighborhood trying to curate some offer for them
Right.
because in that neighborhood at least there's not a ton. It's important that clients that are listening to this that have been thinking about maybe making a move, to reach out and speak to us because it is so hyper localized, and just looking at Treb stats isn't enough to make informed decisions.
What kind of seller is probably not the best suited for today's market right now?
Conversation is, if you're okay with X price, then let's do it. But if you can't sell for that, or if it doesn't make sense to sell for that, then rent it. And so
Right.
we just have to give our clients the honest advice.
Mhm.
And
First time buyer, what would you say to me? Is this a good time to buy? Is this your
first
take?
time buyer right now, I am telling you, you are so fortunate to be in the market today. This is a great buying opportunity. You've got a ton of choice for the most part. And even in areas that are hotter, you may have some flexibility in terms of your closing dates, in terms of
Hmm.
you might have time to come back in the morning if you
Right.
saw it at night.
Completely
So if
agree.
you're a buyer right now, you are looking at the right time. There's a lot of noise out there as far as uncertainty, and it's difficult to make choices in a period of uncertainty. Those who do make a decision to do something are going to be very grateful and glad they did in 5 years from now, 3 years from now.
Thank you so much, Jane.
My
I
pleasure.
appreciate
Thank
it
you.
for coming on today.
What a treat. Thanks so much, Stephen.